there, gamers all around. Welcome. And here today we are in niche, but if you notice, we are not playing with the same characters as before. I have started a new game file, and I found out you could do a lot of stuff with the Sandbox mode. So I decided to play around with Sandbox. Like I found a way where we could like change the settings, and that as you can see, I have all genes unlocked, and that's not because I've been playing the game constantly till I unlock all genes, because there is an achievement whereas you unlock all genes for the game in story mode. If you do it in there's a way to do it. Like if you do it in story mode, you will unlock every single gene in the game. And I found that you could mess around with the settings. So first off, you might notice some things that's different. First off, you might notice here I am. I'm starting mating. I put mutations in, and then I started mating. You know, you might have noticed that some stuff is different. I went into settings, and I found out that you can actually change the settings of the game. Although I am not a fan of going into a game's settings and finding out, I don't like changing the settings of a particular game, of any particular game, because I would rather play the game like you're supposed to, and then unlock all these genes through story mode one at a time. You know, I'd rather play, because that's fun for me. It's not fun for me when I unlock all the genes and then just play around with it. But I suppose that because this is story mode, this gets a pass. And here I am looking around because I heard what I thought I heard, like an ape cry. So, you know, I mean, I always hear that on this island particularly. It's a bit odd because this is a water island. It's a chain of islands, as many gamers would call this island. I kind of like that name in particular. You know, so I've been using it just because, you know, I hear other gamers all the time call this island the chain of islands, you know, which I think is appropriate. I like it, you know. Anyways, as I'm saying, I don't really like going into the settings to change up the proper settings of the game. I'd rather play it by default, how it is, and just play around, see what I can do, because to me that's fun. To me that's fun in a game. You know, I'm not how do I put this nicely? I'm not like the average gamer that's oh, we had to play through story mode to be able to unlock it. No, I'm actually the type of gamer that likes story mode, and I like playing games that hey, you gotta play story mode to unlock this. You know, I kind of like that. It gives me an incentive, you know, so that's why I like it. So here I am, I'm just playing around, I'm messing around. I discovered you can go as far as changing the character's lifespan. You can change the nest materials you have. Here I am looking at the genes, and I found out that the mother had a bat wing. Cause I saw that. Wait a minute, one of my kids has a wing, and then I looked over at the mother, and I'm like, oh, she has a wing. So anyways, in the settings I found out not only you could unlock all the genes in the settings menu, but you can also increase the amounts of starting food and starting nesting materials, and how many days your creatures get to live. And I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, I felt like that was kind of cheating in a way. I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about that. But here I am, just looking at the genes, making sure that they have a home island gene, because that's one thing. That's my main reason for starting over in this game with the brand new game files, because I forgot everything about the home island gene. The home island gene is your ticket home. Is your ticket to win the story mode game, and that's what I was forgetting. That's why, well, that's why I'm starting over. Anyways, so here I am. I'm going to try to skip any of the like grinding that I basically do in this game. I mean, there's not really grinding work to be done in this game. At least not in this video. I mean, in this video there's grind work to be done. But I just mean in this gameplay, in this game file, there's no more grinding work to be done. Here I am just collecting food. But, because like I've unlocked all the genes through the settings menu, and I didn't know that was a thing that you could do on in the Sandbox mode. I was about to say Songbox. Huh. Ha 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 ha. Anyways. So, you know, I discovered, hey, here's this cool thing you can do in niche, and I never, like, this is my first time really experimenting it. I kind of saved that Sandbox settings as just for experiments, just because I was intrigued. But I still see that as cheating. And I personally don't like going into the settings of any game, changing anything. I mean, if I have to because it's part of the game, because of the game like says so, or if it breaks the fourth wall in some way, yeah, okay, great game. But if it's just by coincidence or just a thing that I found that I could do, like, you know, I'd rather just, you know, I'd rather play story mode and just relaxing it, unlocking it. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. I nearly did a voice crack earlier too, just like 5 seconds ago. Anyway, so yeah, that's my 15-minute rant. Good God, it's really 10-minute rant, or not even 10 minutes, but. You know what I'm saying. I just mean to say, you know, there's a thing that I found that I could do in the game that I never found I could do before. Found it very intriguing. Tried starting off with 4 females and 3 males this time, because I felt like here's another thing like I found in the game that I could do, which I thought was really cool. I could go in, create characters, and even set up like what genes they have. So I guess one thing that I forgot to do while I was on it was change the immunity genes, so that way they're not all the same. But my purpose for starting off with 3 females for 4 males was so that way I don't feel like I had to incest, you know, have siblings mate in the game, because I'm really bad at finding new creatures or having new creatures find me that, you know, not only isn't related but don't share the same immunity genes. There was one creature that walked up to one of my babies earlier. If you saw that, if you're paying attention on my little 8-minute rant, good for you, kudos to you. But anyways, so here I am. I'm trying to not get hit by the coconut tree. I kind of forget about this character, Lurker. I think that's her name. I forget about her for quite some time. But anyways. So, you know, I'm just not good at finding new wanderers or new creatures in the game. in general. So I started off with 3 females, 4 males, but I forgot to change the immunity genes, so that way they're not all the same. So I had to work on that. I mean, not if I don't want to cheat. If I don't want to cheat, then it doesn't matter. But in this video, I cheated. So you know, I admit it, because I'm open and honest. That's the type of gamer I want to be. You know, I just don't. I don't want to be one of those, you know, gamers who's like, oh, I died and then I started over. But I'm not gonna tell the audience, you know, that I made it here when, because that's cheat. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to you guys. Anyways, so here I am collecting food. Yeah, I mean, I have food and nesting materials for days, but you know. Also, my creature's lifespan, you might have noticed that by now some of them or one of them would have died by now, but they're not, like, you know, they're not doing anything. That's because their lifespan is now 100 days as an adult, because I found out that that's a thing that you could do, and I thought that was very helpful. Here I am, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want a strength group. Strength, like, offspring. So here I am, I go into the mutations, and I try to pick any characteristics I thought were strong. Something that raises the strength, you know, by a lot. And luckily, that alpha, I just noticed. I didn't notice when I was playing the game, but I noticed while I'm editing just now that alpha male I had mates with that female over there. His strength was like a 6, so that was good on my part in a way, because like I didn't even notice that his strength was a 6 in game. That's why I just kind of like just moved on and just like, okay, I'm doing something else now. But yeah, you know, I just noticed that. You know, there's an achievement. Here I am. You know, here I am. I'm just looking around, making sure there's enough food for everybody. I mean, I got food for days, but you know, it's just still something I need to do. I think that's a very cool touch. It's like the water body with a platypus beak and a bat wing. I think that's very intriguing. I like that a lot. I mean, I like those details. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the strength. Oh wow, strength of 8. And there's a achievement. Here's what I was gonna say before I got distracted. I do that a lot. I need to get better at communication. Anyways, so you would think with my job, I you know, increase my communication level or communication skills, but anyways, so whatever. It is what it is. So that offspring, that red offspring, or not what I was going to say before, but words, English, grammar. What I was going to say before was that there's an achievement. Some of you gamers, if you know the game, if you've seen the game, then some of you may have already known about this. You may have unlocked this achievement, maybe not, I don't know. But there's this achievement on Steam that says like, hey, if you breed with a creature with a strength of plus 12, you unlock the hybrid achievement. So that was, I don't want to say if it's my goal, but that was like what I was thinking. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna build up my strength, you know. So I was thinking to myself, okay, so I want strong creatures, especially when like a Barina comes around, or like I'm not gonna be able to fight a bird unless I have wings. But like if a Barina came along, or even an ape, because they're in the game and I didn't even know that apes are in the game. Good job, game developers. But anyways, oh yeah, I'm looking at the genes of Kupal and Kuvion, and I'm noticing that they share an immunity gene with each other, and I'm starting to think that maybe they are brothers. But anyways, so that's an achievement, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, it would be really cool if I, you know, had the strength, you know, as a thing. And here I am, I'm just playing along. Actually, there's several achievements in this game. This game is very involving. I prefer to play, you know, just how you're supposed to play it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I already spent 8 minutes of this video ranting, and I don't want to spend more, like another second ranting. So I moved creature with an 8 strength closer to a male, because I was trying to see, okay, who doesn't share the same immunity genes as this creature, because you know, I just don't want them to get sick. And I forgot to put in mutations before mating, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm putting in mutations, even though if I know it's probably too late, because they've already mated, like, it's not gonna change anything. But anyways, so here I am. I'm just making sure that numbers go around, and you know, I'm just trying to take care of everybody. You know, if you noticed, I've asked the blind creature, that guy Kerbert, to join us. Didn't know that he had a girlfriend with him at that time, so I invited her to you know, and I was later or earlier, can't remember. I may have cut it out for the sake of time. I noticed that, you know, his girlfriend was actually infertile, so I'm like, oh well, I can't do anything about it, you know. So, you know, I had the strong female mates with the male, the character with, or the creature with like 8 strength. I had her mates, and for a second I thought that she was a he. So I was looking in the wrong directions, and then I'm like, wait a minute, you're a female, you need to mate with the male. So I got that taken care of. Here I am, just clearing some grass, just trying to add mutations in for strength for the male that just mated with the female. And then I thought, hey, how about a strong bird as a beast? So I added wings to the creature. I believe I'm getting very close to the end of the video. So, you know, I think, yeah, it's getting very close to the end. I attacked a leech before he came over, and then I decided to leave 1 energy point on Prita. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Just so that way, you know, in case something does come launching on, like a leech or something like that, Prita can take it off of, you know, his buddy. Not necessarily girlfriend, but, you know, I like to think, you know, just a cool, you know, guy friend, you know. So I have, you know, all these creatures, you know, exploring, collecting food, you know, just making sure they have enough food and whatnot. Trying to make sure, you know, that I'm looking at his strength. Oh yeah, I liked her design. So I named her Toby, or Tabby. I named her Tabby because she kind of looked like, she reminded me of a tabby cat because of her design. I was debating on whether if I should call her a tiger or a tabby, because Like, her design, her white and orange design made me think of a tiger, or Tigger. It's a Disney reference. But Tigger is orange and black, not orange and white. And I was thinking to myself, I mean, it kind of makes me think of a tabby cat, so I decided to call her Tabby. So, you know, I thought I would, you know, include a name in that, and I was looking at her design because she kind of had me intrigued, you know. So here I am, just making sure, you know, the home island gene gets passed on, because you must have the home island gene passed on. Anyway, so I'm getting very close to the end of the game anyway, so take a look at the natural baby and notice that he's not very strong. He or she. I didn't really pay attention to the gender. I think it's a he. But I noticed that like he's not very strong. So I decided to try again with the mutations
was full of my mistakes. I've been too fragile through my life. I'm missing your
time is up.
so bad.
Anyway, so
Don't know if I should call you back. You know it's getting dark inside my head. I feel there's something that is stopping me now.